The big lesson I have learned over the past 4 years is that you either miss or don't understand a lot of things about your children when you're a single parent. Current events being what they are, I have actually been working from home for the past few months. It was a pleasant change of pace for me to be around my kids, who have gotten used to spending most of their time with their grandparents or a sitter. I know that's somewhat selfish since so many people, their lives changed by the pandemic, but it was a great way for me to relieve some of my guilt for not being there enough. But I'm not here to talk about that. Next week, I start working in the office again, and I'm really worried about something I discovered while spending more time at home. I haven't slept in 3 days because of it, actually. Even though I know I'm probably overreacting, I can't get it out of my head that my dog is in danger. None of it makes any sense to me, so I turn to the internet in hopes that someone can help me. For some context, we live in a quiet, wooded area in the northeastern United States. My late wife and I moved here about 7 years ago. When she was pregnant, we longed for quiet nights, tranquil treks through nature, and an overall peace of mind that city life lacks. We fell in love with a 2-story house at the end of Fulman Road very quickly, one of a few homes built in the middle of a dense wooded area as part of a housing development project from the 1990s. After one tour, we bought the house. The original housing project went over budget and the homes didn't draw much interest, meaning the plan was scrapped and 13 homes were left forgotten in the middle of the woods. After my home, our street ends and the trees reclaim their dominance over the area. Nothing but trees stretched on for almost 6 miles in any direction before civilization rears its head again. Fulman Road starts at the opposite side of the neighborhood, and the way out of the neighborhood includes a stretch of 3 miles of only trees. Each of us has loved it here since day one, except for my son. I don't really understand why he's always been so against this place. He was only 8 when we moved here, so it's not like he could have been that attached to living in the city. One of the side effects, positive or negative depending on whom you ask, of living in a place like this is that things rarely ever happen here. We got was when our neighbor's dog, Keaton, ran away. My son, my very pregnant wife, and myself spent many nights with flashlights, roaming the neighborhood and surrounding woods looking for Keaton. We gave up the search after a few weeks when my wife had Ellie, and our neighbors never were reunited with little brown Keaton. Besides that, this place has been my sanctuary in an otherwise chaotic world. Until a few nights ago, that is. I was in the kitchen with Ellie, my 6-year-old. I had just finished cleaning up the mess from dinner, and Ellie and I were having some ice cream. Michael, my son, was upstairs playing video games with his friends. He spends most of his time up there, with his blinds and his door shut, either reading or chatting with video game friends. Without any baseball on TV or anything to do outside, I rarely see him other than for dinner. At the table, he fiddles with the strings on the hood of his hoodie, and barely even says a word to me, or his sister. He's always in a hurry to finish eating so he can lock himself in his room again. That's no big deal though. I was a rebellious teen who thought my family was lame once too. Anyways, Ellie was sitting next to me at the kitchen table, drawing intently with her colored pencils, only pausing for the occasional spoonful of ice cream. "Hey, Picasso, working on over there." She looked up from her work and gave me a quick shy smile before going right back to work. I tried again. "Can I see it?" "No, Daddy," Ellie said, with a sense of her usual playfulness. "This one's for my special friend." "Special friend, huh? Who is this special friend?" "I don't know." She pulled her drawing closer to her and covered it with her arms. Said, "May I please see your drawing, Ellie?" She ignored me and refused to make eye contact. Ellie is an extremely outgoing little girl, and she has always been proud of her artwork. She's the type to show off her silly drawings to uninterested strangers. She may only be 6, but I could tell you right away that she was trying to hide something from me. "Is something wrong, sweetheart? You can tell me anything. I'm your dad. Please just let me see what you drew." I didn't want to prod too hard, but the paranoid dad in me leapt to some of the worst possible conclusions. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay. She slowly moved her arms from over her drawing and showed me what she had been drawing, and it was much more bizarre than anything I was expecting. It's hard to accurately describe or explain what I was looking at. It was a drawing of 3 happy people standing out in the front yard. The 3 figures were drawn in the center of her picture, clearly meant to be the focus of the drawing. They were drawn the way you expect them to be drawn by a little girl. Peach-colored skin, colorful clothes, and big happy smiles. And then off to the left was something that felt totally out of place. It was this tall, dark brown stick figure. The figure was taller than the 3 people in the drawing. The only discernible features besides the figure's brownness was 3 little black holes in the spot face would be expected. The brown figure looked to be reaching out to the man, the boy, and the little girl in the center of the drawing. I stared at her drawing in silence. Something about it freaked me the hell out. I call my daughter Picasso because her drawings are usually just assortments of things she would see or think about in a given day, like kings, carrots, flowers, or bunnies, all mashed together on a piece of paper with no real story to tell. There was clearly a story. The identities of the 3 people standing in the drawing center were very clear to me. "Ellie, is that us?" She smiled and nodded. "Look, there's you and Big Mikey, and there's me," pointing excitedly at each of the 3 people in the drawing center. "Wow," I said. "This is amazing. Can I hang it up on the fridge?" "No, Daddy, I told you. It's for my special friend." "Your special friend, that's right. Is this your special friend back here?" I said, pointing at the brown stick figure. She nodded again. I wasn't quite sure what to make of this. "Is your friend a boy?" "He's a boy," she said. "And does he have a name?" "Yeah." "Can you tell me it?" She let out an embarrassed little sigh. "I don't remember his name." "Oh no, but he does have a name. Yeah, it was all weird. It sounded kind of funny." "Funny?" "Yeah, but I just call him Mr. Spaghetti Man." "Oh, did he tell you to call him that?" Ellie giggled and with a big grin said, "No, but he's made of spaghetti, so..." She started giggling again. For me, chills were intensifying. He's made of spaghetti. Ellie, what are you? I thought about just calling her out for her obviously fake and disturbing story, but then I remembered that she was 6 years old. She was obviously entertained by this friend of hers. I decided to go a gentler route. Well, are you going to introduce me to Mr. Spaghetti Man? Just like that, she stopped giggling and her grin was gone. No, I think he doesn't like other people. I think he's shy. Well, he's been living in my house and talking to my daughter. I think I should get the chance to meet him. At this point, I figured this was just a weird new imaginary friend of Ellie's. Both Ellie and Michael have made up odd friends through the years, and even though my son outgrew that phase a while ago, Ellie is still a prime candidate for inventing friends. He doesn't live here, Daddy. He just comes out of the woods to say hi to me when you were asleep. I flinched ever so slightly when she said that. Ellie must have noticed, because she shuffled around uncomfortably, grabbed her drawing, and started to get up from the table. Wait, Princess, why don't you tell me more about this Mr. Spaghetti Man? What is he like? How long have you known him? Anything. No, Daddy, I don't think he likes when I talk about him. The last person I told, she paused, scrunched her face up for a few seconds, and then picked back up where she left off. The last person I told is gone. Forever. Before I could say anything else, she scurried out of the room, and I didn't see her for the rest of the night. I know I probably don't need to say this, but this is extremely out of character for her. I have no idea where she would have gotten the idea for a man made of spaghetti living in the woods. And what the hell did she mean when she said someone was gone forever? Does she mean her mother? It's been 3 days since Ellie told me about Mr. Spaghetti Man. Now every time I see her, she either ignores me or refuses to acknowledge my questions of Mr. Spaghetti Man. Out of an abundance of caution, I've decided to try and pull all-nighters in my office near her bedroom. The past couple of nights, since she said Mr. Spaghetti Man only visits her at night. So far, nothing has come of it. I feel like an idiot for believing the tall tales of a 6-year-old. But at the same time, I feel like my daughter was in grave danger. I'm just exhausted and I need some advice. I also plan on talking to my mother, a child psychologist, about this. I was hoping not to have to get her involved because she can be very prodding and controlling. But I have gotten nowhere, and I worry that my daughter may have some serious issues that I do not understand. My mom said she would call me tomorrow in the afternoon, so I will be sure to add an update with what she tells me. I just don't think I can go another day of napping during the day and staying awake most of the night. I really need to sleep tonight.